You are looking at the Fallkniven F1 3G Pilot Survival Knife. This is the newest knife from Fallkniven. This features their new 3G powder steel, and this is an amazing knife. The blade thickness is about 0.18 inches thick. The blade is just under 4 inches long, about 3.8, and it has a very nice, comfortable craton handle, though it will show a little bit of wear and tear. But this is an exceptional knife, and I can't say enough about how phenomenal this convex edge is on carving and batoning. This knife has a convex edge, which should do exceptionally well, so I have a lot of high expectations for this knife. Let's see how it does. Look how it bites in there. Look how well this knife carves. It's about $218, but you really get what you pay for. That's not a lot for this 3G powder steel. This stuff is amazing, and I am super happy with this knife. I'm very glad that I bought it. As you can see, you get some pretty good strands here. You can see some of these are really thick, and it just bites in there really well with this convex edge. Here's a piece right here where I just got a good little pressure cut in there. Look how far in there that is. Look how well that bites in there. It's about an inch right there. It's just under 4 inches like we said earlier. So this is not going to be your ideal knife for doing any type of batoning. But if you were out in a survival situation, you had to use this knife, it does get the job done. But the downside is you're not going to be able to use it on very large pieces of wood. It's not going to be able to baton what, something like your RD6 would be, or an even larger knife than that. But just for the sake of the video, I'll do a quick batoning test with a small piece of wood. As you can see, this knife will get the job done, no problem. This isn't the best baton, it's a little bit too lightweight, but it will get, just for kicks, we're going to show you how sharp this knife is. Now, I've done a lot of stuff with this knife. I've used it to chop. As you've seen, I've done a little bit of light batoning. I've made some traps with it, and I've used it for a lot of carving and whittling. I've made a couple of small snares and promontory peg type traps with it. This is literally the sharpest knife I've ever held in my hand. This knife is amazing. Let me show you how sharp this knife is. Look at these micro slivers I can create with it. Look how fine those are. Look how fine those little slivers are. I was going to do a little bit of feather shaking. Look how thin I can get these feathers. Look how thin those are. That's amazing, especially with this much ease. You can really tell that this knife is sharp. Now the other models of the F1 come in a VG10, which is also really good, but this 3G stuff is just a lot harder. This has a Rockwell hardness of 62, and that's just unheard of. That is amazing. Yeah. Now that we've talked about the knife, let's talk about the sheath. I purchased the one with the black leather sheath. It's almost like a gun holster type sheath. This sheath is about the only downside to the knife. It's very sturdy and it's very well made, as you can see in the stitching and stuff. But the only thing about it is it's fold over design. It's real easy to cut the inside here, and I've cut it a couple times. I don't know if you can see that in there or not, but it's just not very practical. Besides, the leather model comes also in a Kydex sheath, and I've heard that's a little bit more suitable, but I bought this one because it just looks a lot nicer. This is a very beautiful sheath. And if you have the money, I would recommend highly that you get this knife. You're going to want to grab one of these. This knife is amazing, and it's one of those cool factor things. All your knife buddies, all your knife friends are just going to want to have this knife and fondle it. Let's just be honest, we like to fondle our knives. It's a cool thing to do. Buy this knife. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe.